One day back in 2012, I was doing my usual thing of endlessly watching music videos and sketches and whatever else I could waste my time on YouTube when the algorithm, in its infinite wisdom, served me up some weird indie band with a misspelled name. They were playing live in a studio with nothing but drums, keyboard, cowbell, and bass. Their bass player completely captivated me with his brilliantly musical solos, his impeccable timing, and just incredible pocket, and the fact that he was playing the exact same red Squier P bass that I owned. That band was Vulfpeck playing Beastly, and from that moment, I and millions of others fell in love with their brand of low-volume funk. Today, we're talking about Joe Dart, the head-bobbing, Ray-Ban wearing, 16th note soloing, bass-playing heartbeat of Vulfpeck. This is How to Sound Like. In a band as full of characters and talent as Vulfpeck, you might think it'd be hard to stand out, but Joe Dart completely steals the show. In fact, he's managed to put out not one, but two pieces of exclusive merchandise, both his bobblehead and the Joe Dart Music Man bass. Now, one might think that you need Joe Dart's bass to sound like him, but what's interesting about Joe is that he kind of sounds like himself no matter what bass he's playing. Like, sure, he sounds great on a Stingray like he plays on Disco Ulysses and 1612, but he also frequently plays jazz basses like seen on Deantown and It Gets Funkier 2 and 4, and he even plays P basses like on Wait for the Moment and Running Away. So regardless of what equipment he's on, Joe Dart always seems to sound like Joe Dart, which means that the only way to sound like him is to be him? No. If you can just play like him, that's the secret, right? Now, there's plenty to say about the way Joe Dart plays. He seems to channel a lot of the late Rocco Prestia from Tower of Power, like the pentatonic licks, the speed, the relentless 16th notes. In fact, Luke over at Become a Bassist did a really great breakdown on Joe Dart's licks and his way of playing. I highly recommend you check that out. It helped me a ton when I was making this video. He really gets into Joe's head and understands his note choices and his feel, so definitely go check out his video. For us right now though, let's continue on talking about the rest of Joe's gear. In the amp department, Joe Dart is often seen with a Mark-based Little Mark 800 head like seen in the Madison Square Garden video, and that's set on top of a Mark-based 610 cab. But you can also see him using a lot of Ampeg stuff in their live touring videos early on, and in the Deantown video, he's even just using a little Roland Cube. However, in a Retta AMA from a couple years ago, Joe says that he primarily just has the DI going into the board, which leads me to believe that the amps are primarily there just for monitoring during the session and that they're not actually mic'd up. Which means that the secret to sounding like Joe Dart isn't even Joe Dart. It's actually Jack Stratton. What? I bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Cody? No, I am Night Shyamalan your ass. You had no idea. That's why you clicked on this video. Let's continue on. Jack Stratton is the band leader of Vulfpeck and the one responsible for a lot of the way the band sounds, because he does a lot of the final mixes. So though Joe Dart is one to plug into a DI and go directly in the board from there is an intense amount of compression on their final recordings, probably because of their extensive use of the Vulfpeck signature compressor. This plugin was developed from the Boss SP303, which is more commonly associated with like old school 80s hip hop, but that's essentially where it comes from, is this Boss unit. Jack Stratton does a whole video where he talks about the thing and how the plugin was developed and where it comes from and kind of how it works. You can check that out here in the corner. Essentially, it's both a compressor and a vinyl simulator, which is what gives it that lo-fi sound. What's especially interesting about this compressor is how gooey it is. It's the auditory equivalent of like freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, really warm and delicious. Now you can go and buy this plugin, it's like 150 bucks, but in the spirit of doing the How to Sound Like series, I like to see how far I can go with just whatever I have, so we're just gonna start with nothing but the bass. For a lot of Joe Dart stuff, there's basically 4 parts to it. 1, you're gonna favor the bridge pickup. In fact, you can turn the neck pickup completely off. 2, you're gonna roll the tone all the way off and then up just a tiny bit. 3, you're gonna pluck right over the bridge pickup, or as close to the bridge as you can get without hurting your fingers. That one might actually take a little bit of practice. I developed some new calluses while I was making this video, so that's a thing. And 4, relentless 16th notes. So this is the sound of just the bass going directly into my Scarlett audio interface with no effects at all. Honestly, that's like 90% of the tone right there, because all of that lo-fi magic happens in post-production. But if we wanted to emulate that sound with effects, I have just the thing. I recently picked up this Zoom B14X and I made a Joe Dart patch. Let me take you through it. For compression, I'm using the MB Comp. For a little bit of the Tubi warmth and overdrive, I'm using the EP Stomp. I added the DI5 as a preamp just to give me a little bit more control over the EQ. And then at the end of the chain, I'm running an EBH 360, which gives me a little bit of control to bump up the low mids. So of course for this patch, I'm not like trying to choose the specific equipment that Joe uses. I'm mostly just using my ear and the overall like concepts of it. And I think I got pretty close. Tell me what you think of this. So that is how you sound like Joe Dart. Let me know how I did in the comments if you think I could do anything different or better. If you want to mess around with this patch for yourself, I have it available as a download for my patrons. I will have an amplitude preset on there as well if you want to check that out. Link down below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more How to Sound Like. I put a new one of these out every month featuring a new bass player and new patches and all that good jazz. Subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss one. Thank you again for your support and watching all the way to the end of my video. I need to go and check on my plants, so I will catch you later. AMP out!